Okay, so here we are, late 2025, and artificial intelligence, it's not just some tech buzzword anymore, right? It has become this massive force that's transforming our society. It's an engine for some truly incredible creativity and economic power, but at the exact same time, it's creating these new, kind of subtle dangers. So yeah, let's dive into this complex duality.
And to really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this change, we have to start with what sounds like a silly question. A question about a breakfast appliance. Because the answer, well, it reveals this absolutely mind-bending leap in AI's ability to not just compute, but to actually create. And I mean, this leap, it is truly unprecedented. We're talking about a move way beyond simple chatbots. We're in a whole new era of generative AI, one that's not only super creative, but also becoming more and more autonomous.
Okay, check this out. This timeline maps the journey of ChatGPT with just one simple prompt. Tell a story about a sentient toaster. And the evolution is just stunning. GPT-1 gave us philosophical gibberish about death. GPT-2 just hallucinated something totally random. Then GPT-3. Okay, it managed a basic story. But GPT-5, honestly, it's on another planet. And here's the thing you gotta understand. This isn't just a story about a toaster anymore. It's an interpretation of really complex ideas, like purpose and rebellion and the desire for freedom. The AI isn't just following instructions, it's imagining. It's weaving these abstract concepts into a story that actually makes you feel something. So this creative leap, now it's starting to act. The next big thing is already here, and it's called agentic AI. This is the jump from an AI that just writes things to an AI that does things. I'm talking browsing the web for you, filling out forms, controlling your computer, basically carrying out complex tasks in the real world, all on its own. It's a huge shift. And of course, what's fueling this massive technological explosion? An absolutely staggering, almost unimaginable amount of money. We're talking about an economic engine that is completely rewriting the rules of the entire investment landscape. So, get this. In the first quarter of 2025, a single deal for an AI company hit $40 billion. One deal. I mean, that is a number so big that it literally bent the entire venture capital market out of shape. And this chart, wow, it just lays it all out, doesn't it? With that one mega deal, it looks like VC funding soared. But here's the crazy part. If you take that single deal out of the equation, venture funding would have actually dropped by 36% from the last quarter. AI isn't just the biggest piece of the pie anymore, it's pretty much becoming the whole pie. So, where is all this cash going? Well, it's pouring into the very technologies that are set to redefine our world. We're talking robotics and automation, discovering new drugs, totally changing how movies and content get made, and of course, building those next-gen AI assistants that are going to manage our entire digital lives. Okay, but all this money, all this progress, it's not all good news. There's a shadow side to this gold rush, and while all the headlines are focused on the amazing potential, there are real negative consequences happening as we speak, creating this kind of silent erosion in our society. Let's start with a number, 13%. That's the decline in jobs for people between 22 and 25 years old in the US, in sectors that are getting hit hard by AI. And this has been happening since 2022. This isn't some future prediction. This is happening right now. It's what researchers at Stanford are calling the silent erosion. It's not the big, splashy mass layoffs that everyone was afraid of. It's quieter. It's the gradual drying up of entry-level jobs. You know those talent nurseries where young people have always gotten their start? They're slowly disappearing. And the reason is actually pretty straightforward. Senior employees, they have what's called tacit knowledge, that gut feeling, the intuition that you only get from years of experience. But all those routine tasks, the data analysis, the first drafts of reports, all the stuff you do in your first job, yeah, AI is getting scarily good at automating exactly that. Young professionals are now literally competing with an algorithm for their first step on the career ladder.
And look, these risks, they go way beyond just the job market. In some regions in the global south, a combination of looser regulations and really tough economic pressures are turning them into testing grounds for some pretty controversial technologies. It's creating a whole new kind of data mining.
A really stark example of this is what's happening with WorldCoin in Argentina. You've got a country facing an absolutely staggering 288% inflation rate. And what happens? People are literally lining up to get their irises scanned in exchange for crypto. It's a powerful look at how economic desperation can push people to trade away their most personal biometric data just to make ends meet. On top of all these societal impacts, the technology itself is just risky. Tiny flaws can balloon into massive real-world problems. Biases in the training data get amplified at a huge scale in things like finance and hiring. And when an autonomous AI messes up, who's to blame? Legally, it's a total gray area. And despite all these dangers, the safety audits seem pretty weak. One independent group actually gave OpenAI a risk management score of just 33 out of 100. So, you've got this incredible power, this growing list of dangers. How in the world are we trying to govern this disruption? Well, the short answer is, with a whole lot of difficulty. Well, if you look at the people who are supposed to be in charge, company boards, it's not great. A global survey found that even though companies are adopting AI like crazy, less than a third of their boards are actually following the best practices for managing its risks. The huge majority feel like they're just not ready. At a national level, we're basically seeing two big ideas emerge, two different paths countries are taking. On one side, you have countries like Brazil and Chile taking a rights-centered approach, putting human rights and ethics first. And on the other side, you've got an innovation-driven path, like in El Salvador, which focuses more on just moving fast with fewer initial safeguards. But, okay, it's not all doom and gloom. There is a third path starting to emerge, and it's a really interesting one. It's the idea of treating advanced AI not as a product to be sold, but as essential public infrastructure, something that should be open and accessible to everybody. And the best example we have of this is a model called Apprentice, coming out of Switzerland. It's open source, it's transparent, and it was built from the ground up with strict ethical standards. Its creators are convinced it's proof that AI can be a public utility, just like our roads or our electricity, built for the public good, not just for private profit. Which really brings us to the final and maybe the most important question of all. As this technology just keeps accelerating at this dizzying pace, we have to make a choice about the kind of future we're actually building. How do we, all of us, together, make sure that this incredible power is used not just to move faster and make more money, but to create real, equitable progress for everyone?